What up, everybody? I know. A video so quickly after the last one, but hey, I'm in a creative mood. We're in the midst of spring and the creative juices are flowing. But anyway, before I go on with this video, and it's a jam-packed video talking about feuding with Lance Hoyt at PCW, I would like to say I failed to talk about something in my last video, and I feel really bad. I mean, I was watching the playback and can't believe I forgot. But I failed to put it down on this book that's covering, got my notes and whatnot. So before I continue and go on with my video, I'd like to talk about my training regimen that I meant to talk about in my last video. I'm on week 3 of this new training regimen, and I've got to thank my wonderful girlfriend, Samantha, for coming up with this routine. I'd finished P90X 3, I'd wrapped that up, done pretty good with it. And my girl was talking about her workout regimen, and she and I have always talked about working out together, but I'm always kind of leery of working out with people, especially, you know, at times. I don't mind having a workout partner here and there, but, you know, I'm kind of leery about it, especially someone you're dating. So it's kind of, you know, cautious about that, but, you know, she had come up with this routine, and I checked it out, and it looked pretty good. So I've been doing it for the last 3 weeks. I'm really enjoying it. You know, she comes up with some really good stuff, and on top of that, we've been working on kind of, you know, fine-tuning the diet, and I hate to call it diet, but working on my nutrition. We feel like we're going to both keep each other honest. We'll motivate one another. And really, I got to admit, for the first 3 weeks, I've been really motivated to get to the gym and getting back into the gym, like an actual gym. I've been doing most of my workouts at home, in this room, actually. So, you know, it's definitely different, but I'm liking the change, and I feel like I'm getting some good workouts. And honey, I really appreciate you helping me on this quest to further improve myself. And you know, I can't do it without her, and I got to thank her. So big thank you. Anyway, so yeah, progress is going good. I know we're gonna make some changes come May. I mean, we've got some stuff, you know, coming down the pike. We've got our anniversary, actually on Easter is our anniversary, so pretty cool. We're going to go out to Austin, kind of hang out and whatnot. Really looking forward to it, because we kind of have a longer vacation. We're going to try to do like Sunday, Monday, maybe, you know, possibly part of Tuesday, but the reality is, speaking of reality of wrestling, this Saturday, April 19th, national television taping. Scott Steiner is a special guest for a meet and greet, but a stacked card. I'm sure it's going to be entertaining. I mean, I'm going to get to be backstage and helping out the talent. Really looking forward to the 6th match in this series of matches between Ruthless Ryan Davidson and Mysterious Cube. Man, and it's an Extreme Rules match. Woo! National TV taping. You got Scott Steiner in the house, and who knows what's going to happen, but I'm really eagerly looking forward to that show. I've been getting in the ring more as far as training and whatnot, because I'm preparing for my next performance, my next bit of competition happening at the PCW Super Show. I think that's what they're calling it. April 26th in Arlington, Texas, at the gym. That's going to be kind of the, you know, a lot of top talent throughout the state of Texas, and it's just going to be great to be back in the area. You know, getting to look back at my time at PCW really has made me miss it a little bit. You know, not a little bit, quite a bit. I'm very excited to be part of the show. Very much looking forward to seeing what I'm going to do over there. I know there's going to be a meet and greet that afternoon at 5 p.m., and I'll cover that probably next week in my next video, because, I mean, again, that's about a week's away. I will say this, I do have these shirts available. DeMarco is my homeboy. I'm going to have my remaining stock on that at the meet and greet, so you can buy them at the meet and greet, and you know, they're going to be selling for a certain amount. But if you get a ticket to the event and you show me the ticket, and I know it's a ticket that you bought from Thomas Bussey's, where you can get tickets, we can just talk about a discount. Special discount for those that are supporting the product, and more importantly, supporting yours truly, because you know I am your homeboy. So there you go. Anyway, so covered those. Now on to story time. Last last video I talked about being the PCW champion and having held it 2 times in the span of a year, holding it for about 7 or 8 months and then losing it and kind of all the physical stuff that I was going through. So at that point I was kind of supposed to be taking a break, but I was starting to feel better. I'd started training with my boy BJ Turner. We were doing some kind of like an MMA workout, but just a variety of stuff, some cardio stuff that was different. His workouts were really unique, and I really enjoyed them, and they got me great results. I mean, we were constantly in the gym and constantly working on different stuff, functional exercises, some flexibility stuff. I mean, he did a lot of MMA training, so it was good. It was good, great workout, and it really got me in great shape and got my back into feeling some sense of normalcy. So I was like, man, I'm back on it. But they did give me a little bit of a break. I'd wrestle here and there about, a month or two, once a month at that point. Wasn't doing anything too difficult. And so they gave me a little time off to recoup. And I did have some concerns, but as we got into training, again with BJ and whatnot, I started to feel like another run was possible. And so they decided to bring me in as a special guest referee. And for the guys that were at TASW in my last appearance, it kind of sounds like, hey, they're bringing me in. At the time, Tim Storm was still the champion, and he was going to face Lance Hoyt or Shadow. And they two had been partners and buddies at one point and ran in the same stable, and now they were enemies because they were fighting for the title. And they decided to bring in sexy Steve DeMarco to make sure nothing went wrong, that the right guy, that it was fair, I was going to call it down the middle, all of that. And for the most part, that was true. But, kind of here's the thing. I mean, and the guys at TSW should have learned from this event because... So here you go. I have a problem with Tim Storm. He took the title from me. But at one point, Lance Hoyt took the title from me, and he became #1 contender. Now, when I announced to them that I was coming back, I felt like maybe I should get the first crack. I mean, let's face it. Storm had beat me for the title. Here I am coming back. He's the one who took me out. Let's make it happen. And they didn't right then and there. So how am I going to make an impact? Well... He put me as ref. Something's bound to happen, and this did happen.
Let's see what he's going to do here. Shadow drawing a bead on Tim. Oh, wait a minute! Steve DeMarco just super kicked the sexy kingdom 3! What the hell just happened? I don't believe what I just saw! What in the world did Steve DeMarco just do?
Let me just spell this out for you. He just super kicked Shadow's ass. That's what he did.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner of the match in steel, PCW World Heavyweight.
Steve DeMarco.
Yes.
No love lost for
Yes. Yes. Way to go, big man.
No love lost for Tim Storm or Shadow. All of a sudden, it came the bell, fans. I have no clue what just happened here or why it happened. And DeMarco is standing over Shadow. I have no clue what's going on.
Do me a favor. Get out your pen and your press hat there, Clark Kent. And you better start doing some investigative reporting starting tomorrow.
Shadow!
So boom, the shot heard round the world in PCW land. Here I was, the guy that was the champion, this great hero, had become this hero guy at Heroes to Legends. And I felt I wanted to do something legendary. So what did I do? I kicked one of my former feuds to help my current, guy who really wasn't my ally, retain the title that was rightfully mine, or the title that I felt like I rightfully deserved. But wanted to do something legendary, and taking out Lance was definitely that. It shocked everyone, and it kind of put me right back into like the running of things. But now I had Lance, who had a target on me. At least that was the kind of the storyline aspect. That was kind of my mentality going into it. Now, mind you, I didn't have an issue with Lance personally or anything like that. I really dug the fact that he was signed to TNA and that he was getting a push, and Hoytomania was kind of in kind of happening at that point, I believe. And I was really happy for the guy. But I could use that, the fact that he was a TNA superstar, and the fact that we were going to refer to him as that. Now, I would do everything in my power to refer to him as that moving forward, like TNA superstar Lance Hoyt. I'd always have to kind of put that out there. I wanted people to believe that I was jealous, but the reality is that, you know, my hat's off to him for getting a contract, and, you know, as long as he was successful, that was cool, because he was a cool guy to me. But again, we had this feud. And I felt like I had to make it as personal as possible, like to let Lance know that it didn't matter what he had going on, I was coming for him. So he actually had a match with Charlie Haas on Uncut, which was a rare thing for them, rare thing for us to have. And, you know, I was booking the show. So that was kind of like, wow, I got feather in my cap to have these two guys on my show. But I had a problem with Lance, so I decided to help Charlie out. And again, my reason for the attack was simple. I wanted Lance to know, buddy, you ain't going to get rid of me. I'm going to put you down. Doesn't matter how successful you are everywhere else. You're here, you're not going to be that successful. And I'm going to continue to be a thorn on your side. And so yeah. I know I blasted him at one point. A couple other things happened in the month of November. You know, after all this. One thing was the PWI 500. I think the 15th annual, I think that's what they were saying here. Came out in November, and I was number 296. There it is. Who will be number one? I was not number one. I was number 296. Here we go. It says 6'1", 230 pounds, 5th year in. 387 was my ranking last year. And it says, Sexy Steve has held every title in PCW and is the reigning PCW heavyweight champion. Of course, this came out in November and I'd already lost the title. Suffered a severe knee injury going into PCW's big Triple Xmas card and lost the TV title to Bret Barnes. Still managed to win the tournament to crown a heavyweight champion just 1 week later, beating 3 men despite wrestling with strained ligaments in his knee. Feuding with Shadow and his dastardly minions, Tim Storm, Apocalypse, and Damien. So it was kind of a little dated. But yeah, so there you go, number 296. Now, in December, PCW had kind of a vote. You know, kind of like the Slammies. And Wrestler of the Year was one of the categories, one of the main categories. And I'll have you know, Steve DeMarco won it. I mean, this is awesome. Obviously I still have it. It's framed. They framed it, I think. But still, awesome. I have it hung in my workout room as motivation. Because, I mean, that was pretty cool. Now, I'm not going to lie. Wally Darkman was definitely, probably should have won. He was one of probably our more most popular guys. And on top of that, I had just turned heel when this voting started. But still a big kick, because I mean, honestly, 2005, I held the title twice. I'd beaten Lance a couple of times. I led another team to the finals of Fight Win Survive. I was kind of like co-captain or, captain as far as the guys within the team. And just a great year. Started out as champion, and at the end, I kind of made history at Heroes to Legends 2005. So, yeah, man, I'm okay with being voted Wrestler of the Year. So thanks to all the fans who voted for me. Now, finally, after some time and some back and forth, they decided to put me and Lance in a steel cage. Which would take place January 28th. Now, here was the beauty of my feud with Lance, is I could involve other people into our stuff. We were on Encore Sports at that point, so that was the big selling point. But on top of that, we had all these new guys, and I'd seen a lot of these guys grow, and thought, why not? And there were some guys that had been part of the product for a while, and I felt like, let's shine the light on them, helping me out. So in the steel cage, I mean, this was unlike my last steel cage match against Tim Storm, which was kind of pinfall or submission, or knockout, I think. This one was an escape out of the cage stipulation. But I felt like I needed reinforcements. I mean, Lance Hoyt, TNA superstar Lance Hoyt, big following, very popular, very tough. I mean, I'm no fool. I know that I'm going to have to use tricks. I'm not ashamed to admit I had to use tricks against Lance. So I needed reinforcements. And so first things first, I went to his former compatriots in the form of Apocalypse and Damien.
Hey guys! Sorry. You look good, both of you. You ever been working out? Okay, never mind. I don't know what you guys have planned for tonight, but I've got a huge, enormous main event steel cage match with TNA superstar Lance Hoyt. You know, the guy that lost 3 times last year, thanks to me? But also the guy who's #1 contender for the World Heavyweight title. You know, the belt that Tim Storm, Grim Reaper, great champion, now holds. I don't know if I can impress upon you enough the importance of ridding the #1 contendership of TNA superstar Lance Hoyt. I don't know. I mean, can you imagine, Damien?
Steve, we understand. We understand that Lance Hoyt is the #1 contender and that your match is important. We have our own things that we're focusing on tonight. We have our own agenda. All we can say to you is good luck.
Somebody. Camera guy, I need somebody. Turn that camera off, follow me. I got a plan.
Now, you see, they weren't totally on board at that point, but I had a feeling maybe. But I still needed to find someone. So I looked even further. And I found Bronson, Luke Bronson. This guy came into the company with such a big, mean dude. And once he had Code in as his manager, I mean, that guy just took off. And I really felt like this guy could be a valuable asset.
Gotta get ready. It's Luke Bronson, master of the Golden Trunks. Be ready. My guy. Hey, decaf. I told you, only give him decaf. Luke, I got a big match. TNA superstar Lance Hoyt. Not that I need any help, but honestly, could you imagine what it would do to your career if you're the guy who single-handedly blazed out Lance Hoyt? What do you say? What do you say?
I don't know if you paid attention tonight, but this man right here has made PCW history by making the fastest match and win on Encore Sports. And just a minute ago, he laid out the House of Pain, Kevin Payne in the middle of the ring. I tell you, we've had an eventful night, and to help you out with TNA superstar Lance Hoyt, we'll get back to you.
Come on, man.
You talk way too fast.
Where's catering? Ronan! By the way, I love that sweater.
Thank you, our guy.
Now, the essence of excellence, Robert Evans. I need your help. You're the only one who can help me against TNA superstar Lance Hoyt. I need your help. You're the only guy. What do you say?
So sassy Steve DeMarco is in need of help. And who does he turn to? But the essence of excellence, Robert Evans. And really, can I blame you? I mean, if I weren't to me and I were in need of help, I would turn to me. And while some might ask, Steve, what have you done for me lately? I prefer to stand up to injustice wherever it may present itself, even if it doesn't threaten me directly. And so, Steve, perhaps an old adage can give you my answer. In brightest day, in darkest night, no evil shall escape my sight. But for those who dare to stand and fight, beware! Awkward.
Robert Evans. Oh man. Using the Green Lantern motto to try to answer the question. I mean that's great. So again, I thought I had backup, and I thought I had good backup, guys that could really help me get a victory over Lance Hoyt, because that was what was important, is getting the victory over Lance Hoyt. And you know, the funny thing about backups is, you know, they mean well.
Oh, he's tuning up the band. He's getting ready for the sexy kick here. But Hoyt just grabs him by the throat. Look out. Choke slam. Choke slammed him nearly all the way to China with that one. I don't know if DeMarco did all this. Wait a minute. Robert Evans has come out.
But, yeah, sometimes things happen.
This is savior. Here comes DeMarco's savior. He can't even get the door open. The essence of excellence, the Cruiserweight champion, Robert Evans. I honestly don't see what chance he's got in there against Lance Hoyt. The essence of excellence looks like he looks like the pride of Highland Park. And he's in the ring, going in the hard way. Hoyt's got a hold of the Cruiserweight champion. He's going to send him for a ride here. Oh, Robert Evans going to the eyes. He's nothing if not resourceful, and now Evans sitting on that top rope, but Hoyt with a heart punch. Oh, we're going to see the blackout. He's going to give Robert Evans the blackout right here. Well, I told you he had the arms like a condor. We're going to see if he can fly. Oh, crash landing by Evans.
Robert, I mean, meant well, and really had me. But then, unfortunately, yeah, Lance got a hold of him. Then Bronson and Coke came out, and oh man, two more guys.
And Lance is going after DeMarco. Look at this. He's got a hold of him. One arm up in the air, and a slam. Hoyt's still reeling from those kicks to the front and the back of the chest. Oh, wait a minute. What is this? Code and Luke Bronson. Have you guys not had enough tonight? I mean, Code, you're the man, but okay. Code's trying to hold the door shut against Lance Hoyt. I somehow don't think that's going to work. Oh, Hoyt kicks the door open and down goes Code. Wow. Code getting it right in the face. DeMarco kicking that rope in a very tender place, and now here comes Bronson into the ring. We call that one the Mike Vanderjack special. And now it's Bronson in there. Remember, no disqualification. Anything goes, and anything can and will happen in this match. No disqualification. The referees can't do a damn thing. No, they can't. Look, I think Terry Stevens on the far side seeing something shiny on the floor. And now look at this, double teaming on Hoyt. Those Mongolian chops from Luke Bronson. Bronson, one of the few men in this organization who can look Lance Hoyt square in the eye. Oh, right into the turnbuckle. Luke Bronson looked him square in the eye and said, "Welcome to the Mongolian Grill. You want some chops?" And now look at this, double team work by DeMarco and Bronson as DeMarco hits nothing but turnbuckle and maybe some cage. Look at that, Bronson's going to go for a choke slam. Can he do it? That's big news to Hoyt. Hoyt's got him, and Hoyt's got him up. He's got him in position, and it gives him the vortex.
And they were taken out. Then I'm in danger, and here comes the Dark Circle, and again.
Oh, wait a minute, here comes the Dark Circle. Oh my God, Apocalypse There's not Christmas night 1982. I'm having some serious flashbacks.
It is 6 against 1. Well,
DeMarco's just laid out Damien with a sexy kick.
he just laid out Bronson.
People getting up at the wrong time, and now Evans has a hold of Hoyt, and DeMarco is
got Evans
right on the point of the chin. Evans is down.
DeMarco, you need to holster that thing and wait till you get a little closer.
Big boot to the face. Lance Hoyt has laid out Steve DeMarco.
I super kicked everyone with the exception of Lance Hoyt. It looked in dire straits for your hero, but then this happened.
Straddling the top of that.
He's up there real precariously though.
Top of that cage. I don't know how long that cage can stay up with both these guys on it. DeMarco hits the mat. That says clear sailing for Lance Hoyt. But look out, here comes Evans, here comes Bronson.
They got him.
They both got hold of Hoyt, but I wonder if Hoyt's too far gone.
Grab him by the hair.
DeMarco pushes the door open. DeMarco's out. DeMarco is the floor. DeMarco wins it.
And I got another victory. I love it when a plan comes together. Now, I would continue to get the upper hand and was on a big winning streak. In fact, to start out 2006, I hadn't lost. I hadn't lost a match. Didn't matter who you put me in the ring with. I had beaten them in one way or another. So I was on a good winning streak, and on top of that, I mean, I was firmly a heel at this point, and probably one of the bigger heels within the company. I mean, you had Tim; he was one of the bigger heels, and he had the title. But man, I felt like me and Lance had something special because it becomes something. You know, we were interjecting ourselves into other things, and so then we got brought the I Quit match. We were building to that. And I thought, man, that's going to be so awesome. An I Quit match, a genocide. Awesome. Should main event at least one part of the shows. Because here's two guys, former champions, really battling each other. It's become personal. It's become this rivalry that has spilled out all over the place. And then I got news that we wouldn't be on Genocide because Lance would actually had, I think there was a TNA pay-per-view, so he couldn't be at Genocide. And I remember just being like, wow, I'm going to miss Genocide. I mean, it'd be the first time in a couple of years since I joined the company that I'd missed a pay-per-view. I mean, missed a DVD taping. And missing one of that caliber was kind of, I don't know, man. I was really disappointed. I was disappointed. I mean, no offense to Lance. I mean, he was doing what he needed to do. But I just felt like, man. And on top of that, in mid-January, I mean, as we're kicking off this feud, as we're rolling along with the feud, I've been told that I would no longer be booking Uncut, and that my last show, booking Uncut, would actually be Road to Destruction 2006, which was actually the day before Genocide 2006. So I wouldn't even be on. I mean, after that, I was, I didn't even know what was going to happen with me coming out of the I Quit match. So yeah, I just was like, wow. And I think I was starting to get bothered and starting to get rattled and starting to get a little upset about the whole thing. But yeah, I just really disappointed. But the good thing was we would main event the show the week prior, and it would be this I Quit match, and we'd have all the time that we wanted. And it would be mano a mano, and there would be nobody else coming out. It would just be me and him to settle this feud, to blow it off. This would be the end of it. An I Quit match. I Quit match, they can be so brutal. Now, all the videos that I've shown are on YouTube, and so I'm not going to show the entire match, but I do have some personal highlights, like when I started the match and got two super kicks quick. Two sexy kicks quickly on Lance Hoyt.
Hoyt sizing him up for the big size 18, but instead, DeMarco ducks under.
Oh, he got him with a sexy kick.
Got him right in the jaw. The sexy kick out, and another one puts him down.
Now who quits?
Well, there's no pinfalls or submissions. You got to have one man or the other say, I quit.
It's not going to get any easier, Lance. Go back to TNA. Collect your check. You better quit right now before I make you my bitch. Say it, Lance. You don't care. Say it. You quit. You quit. I'll never quit.
Well, there's Lance Hoyt with his statement for the moment as DeMarco goes after Hoyt once again. He's got a hold of him, and let's see if he's going to give him another sexy kick or what he's going to try. Now, in recent weeks, DeMarco's been working on a variation of the Cobra Clutch, the $1 Million Dream, if you will. He calls it the Wet Dream, and oh my gosh.
There's nothing dreamy about that one.
So yeah, me and him are fighting. We're fighting all over the place, and then we realized that not even the guardrails are going to be able to contain us.
And once again, the object is to make your opponent say, I quit.
Oh, DeMarco's outside the ring barrier.
Uh-oh. And Hoyt's going out after him.
What did these chairs do to you? Oh, look out. They're going right towards...
They're going past the front row here. Oh, my gosh. People are scattering. DeMarco throwing fans and the street team members in front of Hoyt. We've got a street team member down.
I remember us getting suspended for that. Actually, I'll comment on that right now. It was particularly, we got in trouble because we did go outside, and we continued to go outside, and we went outside the guardrails, and I remember throwing Lala, who at the time was, hey Lala, what's going on? Who was part of the street team at that point, was working as security, and I remember grabbing her, and I grabbed somebody else, and you'll see the clip. Grabbed her, and before that I grabbed this other guy, and then I grabbed her and threw her into Lance. I kind of put her in the way of me and Lance grabs her and throws her down, yet I get in trouble. We both get in trouble, but I get the brunt of it because she had gotten hurt, and I do feel bad, but she's always saying it was my bad. I'm like, well, he caught you. I threw you at him. He should have, just set you aside, but I mean, we were in the heat of it.
Horrible. Hoyt with DeMarco throwing him. That's the steel cage they use for steel cage matches here at PCW Arena.
Ask him if he quit. DeMarco, did he quit? I don't quit the bitches.
Yeah, I don't quit to bitches. I don't. At least that's how I felt going into it. I mean, Lance would prove he's no bitch. But anyway, sorry about the language. Sorry, kids. All I remember is the match was brutal. I mean, it was really brutal.
There's none of that stuff like you see other federations have. They got the padding on the floor, the padding on the tops of the rails.
You see that? No give on that. No give on that wood, man. Yeah. Oh, I think you heard ribs crack at that point.
On that top turnbuckle.
Here comes the death of your hero.
Oh, that sounds very, very ominous from DeMarco. I think he's going to go for a DDT from the top rope.
Oh! His head snapped back. But that's whiplash right there. That's a concussion and whiplash.
I was so hyped. I wanted to kill the hero. That's what I wanted to do. I really did. And Lance was their hero, so I wanted to kill them. Because they should be cheering for me. But now they're cheering for him. And I wanted to have the death of a hero.
Steve DeMarco not letting go.
He's still got it on.
Great tenacity. He's standing Hoyt up and putting more pressure on it. DeMarco this time has the edge in leverage here.
He's still got him out. How is Hoyt getting to his feet?
Up on the ring apron. If he can stand up, he'll negate that leverage, and there he goes. Hoyt has a hold of him.
No!
Oh my God! Oh, good God! Oh my God! Through the timekeeper's table!
I went for that move a number of times, and at that point that I built that move up, the Wet Dream. I think Richard actually came up with the name. But yeah, I just liked that move so much, and tried my damnedest to make him quit to that, and he had a counter.
I think he's not ready to quit.
I think yes. I think we should just call this a night and go have a drink.
These fans are solidly behind Lance Hoyt, and both men very, very slowly getting up. And
But in the end, all great villains fall victim to their own poison.
no, we don't. Those are solid steel ring barriers. Well, Hoyt had something set up in the chair, but now
He's got it. Is he got it back on?
Got that wet dream again.
He sure does.
Cinching in that wet dream on Hoyt once again.
Oh, right into the ring bear.
DeMarco went back first. Lance Hoyt able to get out of that wet dream, and now
Both of them are going to have serious rib problems tomorrow.
well, they sure are. And oh, wait a second, what's Lance doing? Look at this. He's got the wet dream on.
He's got the wet dream on him?
He's got the wet dream on DeMarco, and he's tied up in that steel railing.
Steve DeMarco, do you quit? I quit!
He said it! DeMarco's had enough! DeMarco has quit!
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Lance Hoyt!
My God!
And so, yes, I quit. Further proving that Lance was no B. But, you know, in all honesty, man, in conclusion, I'd say I had a lot of fun working with Lance. I really did. I think we told a great story from the beginning. I mean, really even before that, I mean, the year that I was running with the title up until, you know, the title switches and then to cost him the championship and turn so dramatically and so drastically, kind of in the midst of the match. Like, I turned at the tail end of the match, you know, when I did turn. And then to turn and go completely 180 degrees in the opposite direction and kind of, you know, blame the fans to some degree and another degree and like try to have this edge. And I did have an edge. We did get suspended for a few weeks. You know I did for a couple of weeks because of that. So I was off a few shows. And I just said I quit to this guy. I wasn't on Genocide 2006. Your wrestler of the year, the previous year. And had just done this great feud. But I really didn't know what the next step for me was and really where I wanted to go with it. And I started to kind of try to think, okay, what's next for me, you know, and not just with PCW, but in general, what was going to be next for me. And, you know, which is going to bring us to our next video. And I'll say this about the next video. The next video will cover Tavia. Ashley. But I'm not going to cover everything about our personal relationship. I'm going to cover my thoughts of, you know, why I brought her on the show and how that really kind of evolved me as a character and, you know, some of my thoughts on it, and also how that whole thing kind of would, that period when Ashley or Tavia joined me would kind of mark the end of my PCW career, or at least for the time being. And I'll get into why. And more importantly, I'll talk about my time as Uncut Champion, because remember, I just lost Uncut as well. So I'm really kind of at a crossroads at PCW at that point. But I'm very much looking forward to the next video and the videos after that. I mean, this was video 195, so I hope you all enjoyed it. I enjoyed speaking about it. It's going to be loads of fun going up there April 26th and seeing a lot of old friends. It sucks. I mean, I heard Lance will not be there. So if Lance is listening to this and has made it to the end of the video, man, Lance, thanks for, you know, just a great time and a great, you know, great storyline, a great feud, a great competitor to work against. It was a blast. It was a blast. And, you know, really one of my true friends in the business. And, yeah. So, anyway, without further ado, I hope all of you enjoyed this. And before the next time, as I always like to stay cool, stay sexy, stay classy. But until the next time, later.